Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, home of the lifetime warranty.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Duval Rundown, another victorious edition. We don't have Frank Franchi today. He's on vacation, but we are delighted to have Hacker with us. Obviously, here, Hacker After Dark. Merry Christmas to you, sir, and good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, Hayes, appreciate you having me. And what a victory for the Jaguars yesterday, and to triple their win total, to go from 4 wins in 2024 to 12 wins in 2025. What a job by that entire organization.
What do you think about what's made it so spectacular in your opinion?
I think, when we were at training camp in 100-degree weather, just sweating bullets out there, I don't think you and I thought Cole Van Lannen's going to have a big role on this team.
Right.
Quentin Morris, Danny Strigow, B.J. Green. I don't think we discussed the virtues of Dennis Gardeck.
Yeah, he wasn't practicing.
Right. We knew Trevor and Hines Allen, and obviously, the guys needed to perform, but the depth on this football team, one of the things James Gladstone talked about was raising the floor of the roster, and oh my gosh, did he do that and then some this offseason.
Yeah, I think those are excellent points. And, again, another guy, it was like, Parker Washington, we were hearing, well, he had an incredible OTAs. Well, he got off to a hot start in camp. And it was like, yeah, but, we've seen this sort of thing happen. And then by the time you get to the regular season, that momentum gets stalled. He's been an incredible story. So you're right. They've had great role players step up, and they have certainly raised the floor of the roster. They've also had some guys that they inherited that, for whatever reason, have really taken to this. Parker Washington, Devin Lloyd, obviously now Trevor Lawrence. It is spectacular what the development component has been for this roster. And so I think it's just been the perfect harmony of everybody, being on the same page, Tony Baselli making sure that that's happening. Everybody is working in great communication. Ownership is involved and has a direct channel to exactly what is going on. Baselli sort of setting the tone, letting Gladstone, Cohen know sort of the mistakes of previous regimes, and and putting them in touch with the fan base. And Liam Cohen has done a brilliant job with that. He's done a brilliant job motivating the team. His staff, he's hired a great staff. It's hard to argue with anything Anthony Campanile has done. They lead the NFL in run defense and have been fantastic taking the ball away. Grant Udisky is certainly, you have to give him a lot of credit for whatever role he has as offensive coordinator. Obviously, Liam Cohen is calling the plays, but Hacker, seeing the development of Trevor Lawrence, he's now hitting marks that are very rare in this league. You look at the NFL sent this out last night. Trevor Lawrence now has 26 passing touchdowns on the year to go with 9 rushing touchdowns. He joins Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Cam Newton as the only players to do this in league history. Now, Kyler Murray is kind of an outlier because I don't think anybody would say he's been an outstanding player in the NFL. Obviously, he's had one fantastic season. But Cam Newton is an MVP who got his team to a Super Bowl. And Josh Allen, while he hasn't gotten his team, the Bills, to a Super Bowl yet, they have been one of the best organizations in football over the last 4 or 5 years. And he is the reigning MVP. So there's, as you would expect, as you said, with tripling your win total, a lot of success stories. But my goodness, the corner that Trevor Lawrence has turned with Liam Cohen, this really gets you. I'm excited for Little Hack. Little Hack may be on his way to a 12, 15-year run here with Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen directing the Jaguars to heights they've never seen.
Well, that's exactly right. Liam Cohen was hired to win football games, but maybe as much with that, he was hired to fix Trevor Lawrence, and he has definitely fixed Trevor Lawrence. And the crazy thing, Hayes, is that 8 weeks ago, I think there were doubts about Trevor Lawrence.
I was doubting him after the Arizona game.
Yeah, the Arizona game where
he almost gave the game away single-handedly.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. And since that Arizona game, he has accounted for 16 total touchdowns, 1 interception, which took place yesterday, He has been at an MVP level here over the last 5 weeks or so. And with Trevor playing like this, and they're doing this without Travis Hunter, and they're doing this,
Right.
quite frankly, without a ton from Brian Thomas.
They're doing
I
it
mean,
without a draft class, really. I
right.
mean, Monheim played yesterday and played well. LaQuinn Allen's done some good things. But to your point, Hunter's missed all year. Ransaw's not all year, but he's missed the majority of the year. Ransaw has missed the whole year. Milam got hurt in training camp and obviously got so far behind that they're just basically trying to get through this season without having to play him much.
McLeod hasn't played all year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's a great point. They're doing this. You would think, well, they must have the best, draft class in terms of production of any team in the league. I bet you if you went 1 through 32 in terms of draft class production, what would you guess off the top? 26th in the league?
It'd be towards the bottom, no question. And kind of along those same lines of roster construction, everybody in free agency, the fan base, even the media, we want the 26, 27-year-old going into his second contract. That's kind of what you want in free agency. But when the Jaguars go out and bring in Eric Murray, and when they go out and bring in Dennis Gardeck and DeJuan Smoot and Austin Johnson and Johnny Munt and Quentin Morris and guys like that, I don't think people were running to the season ticket window to buy season tickets, but it's those guys that I think are a large portion of why the Jaguars are where they are, with the exception of De'Ami Brown, which is probably the one that did not work. Every other free agent that Gladstone brought in here, I think has been well worth the investment to this point.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even with De'Ami Brown, they moved on and pivoted, whereas we've seen stubbornness really plague this organization before and this isn't just a shot at Trent Baalke. It goes back before Baalke's time, but just a reluctance to admit, yeah, you know what, this was a mistake. And in finding that way to pivot. And I really commend the Jaguar front office and coaching staff for realizing that. And it's nothing against De'Ami Brown. He just wasn't a good fit. He's a good guy. But they realized it and moved on. A play yesterday in terms of getting to the game, 23-17 win over the Colts. I thought the play of the game, Hacker, and I'm sure you talked about this on the fifth quarter. By the way, if you don't, Hacker does a fantastic job with that show post game. Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington on 3rd and 10 from the Indianapolis 43. It's the Jags are down 10-7 midway through the third quarter, so it's dicey at this point in the game. And Trevor's getting pressure directly in his face, throws a great pass to Parker Washington, who then with the catch and run takes it to the 6-yard line, a 37-yard gain. Trevor on the next play runs it in for a touchdown, 1 of 2 on the day for him. That play to me summed up why this team is different, Hacker, because there'd been drops, there'd been penalties, they were stymied. There was the whisper of the upset was in the air in the building. And when Trevor Lawrence made that play to Parker Washington and then the Jaguars scored on the next play, to me, that signified why this Jaguar team is different. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I agree. Kind of calmed the waters a little bit. I mean, they're down 10-0, and you had the hook and ladder, which, by the way, I was like most people. I killed Cohen for that. If you look at the overhead view, ETN might have scored on that play.
Yeah, the play was fine. I don't know why ETN just couldn't handle it. But
right. So the lack of execution was the problem. I thought the play call in hindsight was actually pretty good. But regardless, they're down 10-0 on the road. You win one for old Uncle Phil was the motto yesterday for Phillip Rivers. Right. And for the Jaguars to outscore them 23-7 after that 10-0 deficit. And the Jaguars left a lot of points out there, mind you. They had the red zone opportunities 5 times and only scored twice. But no, I thought that play to Parker was a huge play. And then I thought the other one, look, it was the Keystone Cops for 2 snaps prior. It's a 3rd and 1. You get an illegal shift because the Jaguars have to have an illegal shift once a game. Yeah. It's a requirement. And then you have a false start. And all of a sudden it's 3rd and 11 and you're staring at the Colts getting the ball back. And that Lawrence throw to Jacoby Myers.
Oh.
And you look at the box score. If you didn't watch the game, you say, well, it's a 10-yard out route.
Yeah.
It was the best throw Trevor Lawrence made in the game and one of the best he's made all season.
Absolutely.
crazy throw,
And a heck of a
crazy
catch.
catch.
Yeah.
It allowed them to go for it on 4th and 1 and to basically kill the clock. I mean, what a job by Lawrence and Myers on that play.
Yeah, and it has been so much fun watching the instant chemistry build between those two. But there were a ton of mistakes yesterday. Now, the Jaguars won the game. They're still sizzling red hot, 7 straight wins, and that's fantastic. But yesterday was, I thought, a character win for them because they really did, to your point, you highlighted a lot of the errors that were made. I tell you one, can you imagine if they'd hit that Hail Mary late because Josh Hines Allen got a delay penalty? There was no chance they were getting another playoff.
Right.
I mean, he's like laying on the guy, and there's 4 seconds on the clock. I mean, there's no chance they're going to get to the line and spike the ball or snap the ball. And, but they get a chance. And the Hail Mary was, because they had to bring in Riley Leonard because Rivers can't get the ball down the field that far. I mean, the play was intercepted in the end zone. So, again, they're able to withstand it. But I'm sure Liam Cohen and his staff are going to have a lot of teachable moments coming out of this one because the penalties and the drops, 2 issues that really plagued them throughout the first half of the season, really showed up again. But the fact that they were able to go get a road divisional win, I think will serve them well as you get into the tournament. It's great that they've just been blistering these teams, but sometimes you learn more about yourself in a close win than you do in a blowout win. Hey, what's up, Little Hack? Good morning.
Say hi.
Go Jaguars. How about Trevor Lawrence?
You do a Duval?
Duval. Love it. Love it. Great
Cameo
stuff.
from Little Hack. He's fired up.
What Little Hack think of the game?
What did you think of the game?
I mean, that was great.
It was great. Are you excited about these Jaguars?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. That's great to chip off the old block.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exciting.
Little Hack's all fired up.
Yeah. So as we start to look at the Little Hack, thank you, buddy. It's good seeing you. And you're welcome to stick around.
Okay.
Hacker, what do you think defensively about the job the Jaguars were able to do yesterday?
Oh, I thought, Trayvon Walker in the second half was dynamic. He was our defensive player of the game on the 5th quarter. I thought Greg Newsome's play on 4th down. I mean, Alec Pierce catches that ball, if not for Greg Newsome getting his hand in there and knocking that key 4th down away. Eric Murray, I thought, did some nice things. And by and large, when you hold Jonathan Taylor to 19 yards rushing on 9 carries in the second half, I mean, that number 1 NFL rush defense really shined through yesterday. So, again, kind of like the offense. Was it perfect? No. Was it clunky at times? Yes. But they played winning football, particularly in the second half, as they held Indianapolis to only 1 score.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points. Jacob Simon's helping us out, as always, on Duval Rundown. We certainly appreciate Jacob's efforts. Jacob, let's say hello to our sponsor, please.
Baloo for Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jaguars. For hard-to-find ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, visit jaxwest.com today.
Hacker, let's take a quick peek at Sunday's matchup. And obviously, we'll talk a lot about this on the Frangie Show. Hacker, kind enough to sit in with me on the Frangie Show this week, so that'll be a lot of fun. We're 4 to 6 this week. We won't have a show Thursday with New Year's, but certainly looking forward to talking all sorts of Jaguars with you, Hacker, on the Frangie Show this week. But as we start to peek ahead to Sunday, we know the game's going to be a 1 o'clock start. The Texans will also be playing at 1 o'clock, but it really doesn't matter what Houston does. The Jaguars just have to take care of business against the Tennessee Titans, who to me are dangerous. Like, I don't know if the Jaguars should be favored like 11 over them. Like, that seems a bit high. I mean, Tennessee's having a dreadful season, but they've been better lately. They're 2-2 in their last 4, and they're scoring about 26 points a game in that 4-game run. So they're doing some pretty good things offensively. What's your concern level, if any, in regards to Sunday's home finale against the Tennessee Titans?
I mean, I think there's always a concern when you're playing a rival, and certainly they would love to spoil the Jaguars' division chances. But at the end of the day, you're 12-4, they're 3-13. You're at home playing for an AFC South championship. If you can't get fired up and come out ready to play for this, I don't know what to tell you. And in talking to people in Nashville last week, and certainly we'll have people on, 1010XL breaking down the Titans this week. The offense for Tennessee has come around a little bit. Cam Ward is certainly playing better. Those young wide receivers are playing better. The Titan defense is atrocious. They've had so many issues in the secondary. Tyler Shuck of New Orleans destroyed them for over 300 yards yesterday. Chris Olave went nuts on them yesterday. This should be a game where Trevor Lawrence and the passing game thrives against Tennessee. I think the Titan offense will pose some issues, but I think that Titan defense has about gone to Cancun at this point. So I expect a big day for the Jaguar offense.
Yeah, I would think so as well. And, as you, as you look at it, another element to this is offensively for the Jags is Travis Etienne. Went over 1,000 yards yesterday. So again, we've sort of bounced around a lot today because there's just so much to get to, but sort of shifting back to guys that, we weren't really sure about their role in training camp, how extensive it would be. We weren't sure how they would mix in with a new coaching staff. Travis Etienne, like Devin Lloyd, like Parker Washington, Brenton Strange, I would throw in that category. Guys that were here, that this staff inherited, that have really had huge years. I mean, Etienne has been one of the most consistent players from week 1 through week 17 so far on the roster. And so I agree with you. I think the Jaguars are too balanced offensively for the Titans to come in and win the game. And the Jaguars did beat them 25-3 on November 30th. So the first matchup in Nashville wasn't particularly close. But anyway, I don't know that the Jaguars will win the game by more than 11, but I am with you. I do think they'll win the game. But what's been your thought on Etienne? And then we'll wrap it up with you.
I mean, Etienne's been fantastic, and I think you got a real question that we're going to have in February as to Etienne and Devin Lloyd, and you might even lump Cole Van Lannon in there. They're going to have some real questions as to who to bring back because those three guys have played unbelievable football. You'd love to see all three come back. Etienne's had a career year. Devin Lloyd's had a career year. I'm not sure Cole Van Lannon shouldn't be your opening day left tackle next year. Again, elevating the floor of the roster. That's what the Jaguars have done. And those three guys in particular are proof of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff, Hacker. We certainly appreciate it. Little Hack, great seeing you. Happy New Year. Go Jaguars.
Can you give Hayes a Duval?
Duval!
Duval, that is awesome. All right, this has been the best Duval rundown ever. We've had a lot of fun, and we'll certainly look forward to having more fun later this afternoon on the Frangie Show. Again, Hacker sitting in for Frank, who's on vacation this week. That'll be a lot of fun. Hacker, really appreciate you joining us on Duval Rundown, man. Look forward to seeing you this afternoon.
Hey, thanks, buddy. See you at 4 o'clock.
All right, great. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back on Wednesday with Ryan O'Halloran, columnist of the Florida Times-Union. But until then, soak it up. Another Victory Monday here in Jacksonville, and your Jaguars still in first place in the AFC South with one game to go. Remarkable stuff. Thanks for watching Duval Rundown. We will talk to you on Wednesday.